A pleasant day to you, ma'am. This is Marimar Oclida, and I'm going to discuss now the chapter 9 of the subject Legal Aspects in Tourism and Hospitality, which is entitled The Laws Regulating Travel and Tour Services. So, here is our learning objectives. First is to enumerate the procedure in setting up a travel agency. Second is to identify the responsibilities of a legitimate travel agency or tour operators and differentiate ethical from unethical practices by travel agencies and tour operators. And last is to give examples of issues, concerns, and problems travel agencies and tour operators may have in the conduct of their business. So, as part of our tourism industry, the pivotal role of travel agencies is regarded as revenue support of the nation's economy, considering that the tourism industry has already become a matter of public interest. It calls for its promotion and regulation by our government. So, the laws regulating travel and tour services in this chapter involve implementing rules and regulations by the Department of Tourism and the Supreme Court decisions which define the nature of the business of a travel agency and tour operator. Likewise, a background on the validity of e-ticketing in booking customers by virtue of Republic Act 8792, also known as the Electronic Commerce Law, has been included. So let's proceed on the nature and description of the business. So the law stated that tour operator shall mean an entity which may either be a single proprietorship, partnership, or corporation regularly engaged in the business of extending to individuals or groups such services pertaining to arrangements and bookings for transportation and or accommodation, handling or conduct of inbound tours, whether or not for a fee, commissions, or any form of compensation. Tour guide shall mean an individual who guides tourists, both foreign and domestic, for a fee, commission, or any form of lawful remuneration. So a travel agent is covenant with its customers to make travel arrangements in their behalf. A travel agent's services include procuring tickets and facilitating travel permits or visas as well as booking customers for tours. The relation of a travel agency with respect to a common carrier is that it merely acts as an agent of the common carrier. Under Republic Act No. 8239, also known as the Philippine Passport Act of 1996, renewal of applications for the issuance of passports may be filed by any licensed travel agency duly accredited by the Department of Foreign Affairs, provided that the agent shall be responsible for the authenticity of the supporting documents being presented to meet the requirements for the application of passports. So, next is the accreditation of travel agencies and tour operators. So, under Section 2, who may apply for accreditation? The following may apply for accreditation as tour operator and travel agencies are: first is a resident Filipino citizen, second is a partnership organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of its capital being owned by Filipino citizens, and third is corporations organized under the laws of the Philippines, at least 60% of the subscribed common or voting shares of stocks of which is owned by Filipino citizens, and the composition of its board of directors being at least 60% Filipinos. So in Section 4, stated that additional requirements for tour operator using a motor vehicle, that no tour operator shall use any motor vehicle while conducting tours or transporting tourists unless such motor vehicle is accredited with the department and sporting a tourist plate. In Section 5, minimum office requirements, the tour operator shall comply with the following office requirements. First is, it shall be located in a commercial district and not in a residential district. Second is, it must be easily identifiable and shall be used exclusively for the tour operation business. So the foregoing provisions provide for the minimum requirements for the accreditation and operation of a travel agency and or tour operator by the Department of Tourism. Take note of the investment limitation of foreigners is engaging as a travel agency or tour operators in the Philippines. So the accreditation under the International Air Transport Association or the IATA. IATA accredits two distinctive types of travel agencies, which is the airline-appointed agencies holding tickets, stock, or capable of e-ticketing, and all other categories of travel agencies called travel sales intermediary agencies. So, essential to both programs is a set of objectives with appropriate business standards that travel agencies must meet. So, the airline appointed services is when a travel agency is appointed by the airlines through IATA, the owner enters into an agency agreement with one or more of IATAN's IATAN's 79 customer airlines. So, each airline sets its own standards for appointing travel agencies, and each airline may select any number of appointment criteria. Travel agencies receive remuneration, generally in the form of commissions or on the sale of air transport services. And while the travel sales intermediary or the TSI is a business which is proprietorship, partnership, or corporation that is engaged in a sale or brokerage of travel and travel-related services such as cruises, tours, hotels, car rental, bus, and rail transportation. So TSIs do not hold online agency appointments or issue airline tickets. Next is the law on the accreditation of tour guides. Under Section 9, requirements for issuance of accreditation, an applicant for accreditation as tour guide shall submit the following. First, proof that the applicant has passed a seminar for tour guides duly conducted by the Department of Tourism or other agencies duly authorized by the department to conduct a seminar, provided, however, that its requirement may be waived by the department where the applicant possesses special academic or professional qualifications relevant to tourism. And next is Certificate of Good Health issued by any duly accredited government physician. And third is clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation in the case of alliance applicants, valid visa from the Bureau of Immigration, and the proper permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. Next is mayor's permit or municipal license. Next is the latest income tax return, and the last is such other documents that the department may require from time to time. So, the above are the minimum requirements for accreditation as a tour guide by the Department of Tourism. It is vital that an accredited tour guide must have passed a seminar for tour guides duly conducted by the Department of Tourism of its duly authorized agencies. So let's proceed in the responsibilities of business entities engaged in travel and tour services. Travel agencies need to take necessary precaution by exercising prudence and due diligence at all times. Under the present state of the law, extraordinary diligence is not required in travel or tour contracts. However, the travel agency acting as a tour operator must nevertheless be held to strict accounting for contracted services, considering the public interest in tourism, whether in the local or in the international scene. Moreover, a tour guide is supposed to attend to the routinary needs of the tourist, not only when the latter would ask for the assistance, but at the moment such need becomes apparent. In other words, the tour guides especially by reason of his experience in previous tours, must be able to anticipate the possible needs and problems of the tourist instead of waiting for them to bring it to his attention. While this is stating the obvious, it is the tour guide's duty to see to it that the basic personal necessities such as soap, towels, and other daily amenities are provided by the hotels. It is also expected of such tour guide to see to it that the tourists are provided with sanitary surroundings and to actively arrange for medical attention in case of accidents, illness, or discomfort. So next is the prohibition against engaging in recruitment activities. The law on Article 26 of the Labor Code of the Philippines stated that travel agencies prohibited to recruit. Travel agencies and sales agencies of airline companies are prohibited from engaging in the business of recruitment and placement of workers for overseas employment, whether for profit or not. So, in addition, the rules and regulations governing overseas employment provide for the following who are disqualified to participate in the recruitment and placement of Filipino workers overseas are travel agencies and sales agencies of airline companies. Second is officers or members of the board of any corporation or members in a partnership engaged in the business of a travel agency. And third is corporations and partnership when any of its officers, member of the board or partner of a corporation or partnership engaged in the business of a travel agency. Next is the e-ticketing and e-commerce. So what is e-ticketing and e-commerce? E-ticketing is one of the most significant opportunities to reduce costs and improve passenger convenience. It reduces ticket processing charges, eliminates the need for paper, and allows greater flexibility to the passenger and the travel agent to make changes on their itinerary. While e-commerce is under Republic Act number 8792, also known as the Electronic Commerce Act, an electronic document refers to information or the representation of information, data figures, symbols, or other modes of written expression described or however represented, by which a right is established or an obligation extinguished, or by which a fact may be proved and affirmed, which is received, recorded, transmitted, stored, processed, retrieved, or produced electronically. So before I end this topic, I have here my conclusion. So laws regulating travel and tour services vary globally, covering areas such as consumer protection, safety standards, and business licensing. Compliance with these regulations is crucial for ensuring a secure and fair experience for travelers while promoting industry professionalism. It's essential for both businesses and consumers to stay informed about the specific laws applicable in the region to upload standards and address any issues that may arise during travel and tour section. So that's all for the chapter 9. I hope you have learned something. Thank you for listening.